is it that's come on deck with the crew of the good ship Literacy? I'll tell you who it is, lads and lasses. It be Long John Silver. Ha ha! Long John, what is it you want the captain to do?
Aye, Captain, I would like for you to read from Snap's Journey to Find a Mate. Ha ha ha. Do that for Captain John Long John Silver.
All right, Long John, you settle down over there along the rail of the ship and we'll read from the book about Snap's journey to find a mate. Snap found himself trotting along a fir needle-covered deer trail. He had told Rusty he would see him at Coggin's Saddle, see the big eagle at the greatest, well, something or another, in the forest. It would be an easy thing to go there, for a wolf to hike through the open forest, over hills, along streams and rivers. Yes, easy, but his heart was not in it. He hadn't come to the end of the world like he feared he would, but he had become increasingly convinced that even if he found the end of the world, he would not have found another wolf. No, not the end of the world, but the end of his journey. Celebrate? What was there for him to celebrate? A lone wolf among pairs, while crowds of other animals frolicked, each with its own kind, enjoying each other's company? What was there in that for him to celebrate? No, he would change course again, head north and east back toward Imnaha, toward home, toward Mama, and the fate of a servile wolf. Rusty will understand, he said out loud, pausing at a fork in the trail. He sniffed the air, trotted off north into the woods, and headed in the opposite direction from Coggin's Saddle. As he traveled, he found himself that there was increasing evidence that Bigs were everywhere. He'd made a point to avoid their groups of dwellings they called towns and cities. He settled for the night in a lush meadow near the creek. A cold wind ripped the branches of the trees, through which Snap could see the glow of light rising from the Bigs where the Bigs lived. He'd seen those balls of light many times at night since leaving the Wallowas. He'd wondered why Bigs lit their night. Do they have to? Are they afraid? Wolves can see well at night. Apparently Bigs can't. Without bothering to rise to his accustomed call into the night, Snap curled up in a ball in a big pile of pine needles and waited for sleep. He was on the verge of a disturbing dream. A crash of a falling branch nearby snapped him into consciousness. A phantom nightmare had lasted only a few seconds. For a while he lay listening to the whistling wind. Distant voices mingled with nature's songs, urging Snap to be strong and courageous. If I were really an alpha, I'd call into the night. I'd have to, he said into the darkness. He rose from his pine needle bed, took a few steps to a large boulder half buried in the ground. A full moon hung bright above the tree line on the east to the east. Snap raised his nose into the air, laid his head back, opened his jaws wide, and emitted a long, mournful howl. That's where we'll leave it today. But lads, you can go down and get a book, come up and read it, and you could read to Long John Silver too. Ha ha.